Welcome to today's transformation dive here at Earn Flow Zone, where we cut through the noise and get real about building wealth and designing a life you actually love. Let's be honest, sometimes scrolling through social media feels like flipping through a highlights reel of everyone else's best life. Perfect vacations, effortless passive income streams, financial freedom before 30. It's enough to make you feel like you're stuck in slow motion while the rest of the world is on fast forward, isn't it? You might even have a pretty solid income. Maybe you're hitting career goals, but there's this persistent whisper of financial worry. Is it just you, or does money feel like a puzzle with half the pieces missing? We're here to tell you it's not just you, and it's definitely not impossible. We're diving deep into the mindsets and habits that actually move the needle, the practical steps that take you from feeling overwhelmed to taking control. We're busting myths and building momentum one step at a time. If you're ready to swap that low-grade financial stress for genuine peace of mind and undeniable progress, you're in the right place. If you're into real, actionable money and mindset content, hit like and subscribe. It helps way more than you think. Drop a comment with where you're watching from or your biggest money habit win. Let's dive in and change the way you think about success. You feel it, don't you? That low-grade hum of financial stress, even when things are fine. You earn a decent living, maybe even a good one. The bills get paid, mostly. You might even have a little saved. But freedom? Peace of mind? That feeling that you're actually building something unstoppable. It feels far away. It's like being on a treadmill set to high incline. You're sweating, you're putting in the work, but you're just staying in the same spot. This isn't just anecdotal. It's a widely shared experience. Feeling like you're on a financial hamster wheel that just spins faster the more you earn. You see someone talking about passive income or financial independence at 30, and a knot tightens in your stomach. You think, what am I doing wrong? Or worse, you think, they must have had help, or it's easy for them. You work hard. You put in the hours. You make sacrifices. You're doing everything you were told you were supposed to do. So why does it still feel like you're just running in place? People often underestimate the power of their own mindset in this cycle. Maybe you believe the old myths. You need a massive salary to get ahead, or it takes huge windfalls to build wealth. Saving $5 is pointless when I have $5,000 in debt. These aren't just innocent beliefs. They are powerful anchors keeping you stuck. They tell you the small stuff doesn't matter. They tell you your current income isn't enough to start building real momentum. And that, my friend, is the biggest financial lie holding you back. The surprising fact is, true financial growth isn't about the size of your starting line. It's about the consistency of your steps. It's not the lottery win. It's the daily discipline of saving, investing, and smart spending. Believing that small amounts are insignificant causes you to neglect the very actions that build wealth over time. Cause, you dismiss saving $10 because it's not $10,000. Effect, you never build the habit of saving, and the $10,000 never materializes because it's built $10 at a time. This one habit, dismissing the small wins, changed everything for me when I realized its destructive power. It's like trying to get fit by only thinking about running a marathon instead of just going for a walk around the block today. The big goal is inspiring, but the small, consistent action is what builds the capability. To break free from this hamster wheel, the core decision you need to make today is to reject the myth that small actions are pointless. Ask yourself, what's one small financial myth I'm currently believing that keeps me from taking action. Try this for a week. Track every single dollar you spend, or commit to saving just $10 and see how it feels to take control, even in a small way. It's those seemingly tiny shifts that create the unstoppable momentum. Section 2. Money momentum isn't about speed. Welcome back to Earn Flow Zone. We've set the stage. Now let's talk about a concept often misunderstood in personal finance: momentum. You hear people talk about making money fast, hitting that big salary number, or getting rich quick. That feels like momentum, right? Like a race car blasting down the track. But here's where most people get it wrong. True financial momentum isn't primarily about speed. Think about momentum in physics for a second. It's mass times velocity. P equals mv, if you want to get nerdy. Velocity is speed, how fast something is moving. Mass is, well, mass, the substance, the weight. In finance, velocity often feels like your income. A high salary, a big bonus, money flowing in quickly. That's high financial velocity. But if that money hits a wall of debt, bounces off into impulse purchases, or evaporates into lifestyle inflation, what happens to its mass? There isn't any built up. It's like a super fast ping pong ball hitting a feather pillow. Lots of speed, zero impact, zero mass behind it. You might be earning a lot, but if that velocity is undirected, hitting walls of debt and frivolous spending, there's no real mass building up in your financial life. The surprising insight here, the kind that might just shift everything for you, is that a beginner consistently directing even small amounts of money builds more true financial momentum than a high earner whose money movement is chaotic and reactive. Imagine someone earning $50,000 a year, but diligently saving and investing $500 every single month. That $500 isn't just disappearing, it's being directed, it's gaining weight, it's building mass. Now compare them to someone earning $150,000 a year who, maybe due to lifestyle creep or poor spending habits, actually spends $155,000. They have incredibly high velocity coming in, but their spending velocity is even higher and pointed the wrong way. They aren't building mass, they're actively adding negative mass, going backward. It's like they're running really fast on a treadmill that's set in reverse. A slightly humorous but scary thought, right? The cause and effect are clear. Directed, consistent movement, even at a lower speed, income, builds financial mass. Undirected or counterproductive movement, even at high speed, erodes or prevents mass accumulation. This is why someone steadily paying down debt and saving $100 a month is moving forward, building positive momentum, while someone earning six figures but racking up credit card debt is sliding backward, building negative momentum. This leads to a critical personal action for you today, right now. Ask yourself, what does financial momentum truly look like for me? Is it a consistently growing savings balance? Is it the satisfying click as your debt balances decrease each month? Is it the growing number of shares in your investment account? Get crystal clear on your definition of building financial mass. This one decision changed everything for me because it shifted my focus from just earning more to directing what I earn effectively. Try this for a week. Each time you think about money, ask if that thought or action is building velocity or mass in your definition of momentum. Your financial future isn't decided by one big lottery win, one massive promotion, or some sudden external windfall that lands in your lap. If you're waiting for that, you're likely going to be waiting a very long time. The truth is, your financial foundation, your trajectory, the feeling you have about money day to day, it's all being built, brick by tiny brick, by the thousands of subtle, almost invisible micro-decisions you make every single day. These are the choices that seem insignificant in isolation. The decision between bringing the lunch you packed or impulsively buying a sandwich and drink. The automatic default to hit buy now on an ad you saw without a second thought about your budget or needs. The casual tendency to let every spare dollar evaporate into streaming subscriptions you barely use or impulse buys that provide fleeting joy rather than intentional saving or investing. Each one feels like nothing. A single $8 coffee? Come on, that means nothing in the grand scheme, right? It's just one small expense. It's barely a ripple in the ocean of your monthly spending. But do that 5 times a week, every week, and you've just allocated over $2,000 a year. Yes, over $2,000 to that insignificant choice. That money isn't just gone. It's money that didn't go into an emergency fund or towards paying off debt or into an investment that could potentially grow. It's the financial equivalent of skipping your daily workout. One missed day won't kill you, but doing it consistently means you never build the strength you're capable of. Here's the surprising and sometimes shocking truth. Your micro-decisions often compound faster and have a more immediate, direct impact on your daily and weekly financial state than your annual salary does. Your salary provides the potential, the raw material, but it's your micro-decisions that dictate how much of that raw material is shaped into security, growth, or simply slips through your fingers like sand. It's not the latte that's the problem. It's the unconscious habit behind it. It's the default setting in your brain that says, "I deserve this," or "it's only a little bit," without ever asking, "What am I giving up for this?" This isn't about deprivation or suddenly becoming a financial hermit. It's about injecting awareness and intentionality into your daily money flow. It's like turning on the lights in a room you've only ever navigated in the dark. You might be surprised, maybe even a little horrified by what you see, but seeing it is the first step to changing it. So, here is your prompt for action, a concrete step you can take right now. For just 3 consecutive days, track every single dollar you spend. Use an app on your phone, a simple spreadsheet, or even just a small notebook and pen. Every coffee, every vending machine snack, every online purchase, every subscription charge that hits, jot it down. Be meticulous. But here's the critical part. Do it with absolutely no judgment. This isn't an exercise in shaming yourself. It is purely, simply about building awareness. Just observe. Where is the money actually going? This one habit changed everything for me. It lifts the veil and shows you the hidden streams of cash flow leaving your pocket that you never noticed before. Once you see these microflows clearly, you gain the power to redirect them. You can start making conscious choices that align with your bigger goals, instead of letting unconscious habits dictate your financial future. Okay, so we've talked about shifting your perspective, laying the groundwork for financial freedom, not feeling like a chore, but a journey. Now, let's get practical about step number 2. This is where most people trip up, and it's under the banner. Tracking isn't restriction, it's sight. Think about tracking your money for a moment. What's the first feeling that pops into your head? For most, it's dread, guilt, maybe a touch of shame. People often imagine hovering over spreadsheets or apps, cataloging every dime, feeling like they're on a strict financial diet where every purchase is judged. That narrative is such a powerful myth, and it holds so many people back. You feel like you're just setting yourself up for failure, constantly having to say no or feel bad about spending. But here's the crucial reframing, the surprising truth that can change everything. Tracking your spending isn't about restriction at all. It's about sight. It's about gaining crystal clear vision. Imagine trying to train for a marathon without knowing how far you can currently run, or even whether you can run around the block. You'd just be guessing your training plan, probably setting unrealistic goals or underestimating your capacity. Tracking is the diagnostic test before the fitness plan. It tells you your starting point, your current financial stamina. Without knowing where your money is actually going, you are navigating completely blindfolded. You can't chart a course to financial growth or stability if you don't even know your current coordinates. Here's a common, brutally honest example. Many people think they spend a modest amount on eating out. Maybe you budget $300 a month for dinners, lunches, coffees on the go. Sounds reasonable, right? Then you decide to track it meticulously for just 1 month, and the shocking reality hits. The number isn't $300. It's $600, $800, sometimes even $1,000. That discrepancy isn't a moral failing. It's just data. It's the power of information. It's like flipping on the lights in a dark room and suddenly seeing where all the furniture is, and maybe tripping over a few things you didn't know were there. Suddenly, you're not operating on assumption. You have concrete numbers. This surprising insight is your power source. You can't fix leaks in a pipe if you don't know where they are. You can't build momentum and cash flow if you don't see where your financial energy is unconsciously draining away. Seeing the numbers gives you the agency to make conscious choices. You might look at that $800 eating out number and decide, okay, that's more than I realized, and I'm actually okay with that amount. Or you might say, wow, that's double my budget. Maybe I can redirect some of that towards savings or a specific goal. The point is, the choice is now yours, informed by reality, not guesswork or guilt. So, how do you start gaining this sight without feeling overwhelmed? You don't need to track every single penny across every category starting today. That's like trying to run a marathon tomorrow without training. Instead, let's make it manageable. Try this for a week. Choose one spending category that feels a little fuzzy or mysterious to you. Is it food, groceries, and eating out? Is it entertainment? Is it online shopping? Pick just one. And for the next 7 days, meticulously track only the money flowing through that one category. Use a simple note on your phone, a small notebook, or a free app. Whatever is easiest. Just record every dollar spent in that category. At the end of the week, look at the number. See where the money actually goes in that specific area. This one habit, focusing on just one piece of the puzzle, can give you incredible insight and change how you approach your finances entirely. It shifts your focus from "I'm bad with money" to "Oh, this is what's actually happening." Welcome to today's transformation dive on Earn Flow Zone. We're about to tackle a money myth that's probably cost you more peace of mind than any latte ever has. Seriously, let's call out the elephant in the room. The relentless shaming, the eye rolls directed at anyone who dares to buy something frivolous while not being a millionaire. You've seen the headlines, you've heard the advice. Just stop buying avocado toast, cancel that streaming service, skip the coffee shop. and magically, your financial woes vanish. If only it were that simple, right? This narrative is everywhere, making people feel guilty for tiny moments of pleasure, while often ignoring the real systemic issues, or more importantly, the personal system or lack thereof driving their money decisions. It's easy to point to the small stuff, but that's like blaming a flat tire on the color of your car. The real problem isn't the thing you buy. It's the thinking, the feeling, the automatic response that leads to the purchase, and the financial structure, or lack of one, that either supports or collapses under it. This isn't just about money. It's about energy, control, and building a life on purpose. It's about shifting from a reactive financial state to a proactive one, moving from merely surviving paycheck to paycheck to consciously building wealth and security. People often get stuck focusing on pruning tiny leaves while ignoring the root system that needs nurturing. If you're into real, actionable money and mindset content that skips the shame and gets straight to empowering you, hit like and subscribe. It helps way more than you think. Signal to YouTube that this is valuable. Drop a comment with where you're watching from, or your biggest money habit win, no matter how small you think it is. Sharing helps build this community and shows others what's possible. It's amazing what you can learn from each other's journeys. Let's dive in and change the way you think about success, starting with that infamous latte. Okay, let's talk about that latte, or the avocado toast, or the new gadget. The popular narrative tells you these small expenses are what's keeping you broke. It's a seductive idea because it feels simple. Cut back on the fun stuff and you'll be rich. If financial freedom were as easy as brewing coffee at home, we'd all be chilling on yachts, right? This is a major myth bust under the Earn Flow Zone banner. The truth is, the issue isn't the $5 coffee. It's the $5 coffee bought unconsciously within a financial system that's not structured to support your goals. Think of your money like a garden. If you have rich soil, a good watering system, and sunlight, your income and planned investments, you can totally afford to plant a few pretty flowers, the occasional small luxury, without ruining your harvest. But if your soil is poor, you have no watering schedule, and you just scatter seeds hoping for the best, unplanned spending, no budget, no savings, those pretty flowers are just a distraction while the rest of the garden withers. A surprising fact that challenges common thinking. A genuinely wealthy person can buy an $8 coffee without a second thought. Not because $8 is insignificant to them, it's not, but because that purchase is a conscious, minor choice that occurs after their savings, investments, and essential bills are already handled by a robust, automated financial system. That $8 coffee isn't fighting for resources. It's an overflow expense, easily absorbed. On the flip side, someone struggling financially who buys that same $8 coffee unconsciously, maybe out of stress, habit, or a fleeting desire for comfort, is reinforcing a pattern of reactivity. This isn't a judgment on the person, but on the pattern itself. The lack of intentionality and the absence of a clear system for their money means that $8 isn't just $8. It's another data point in a habit loop that says, I don't control my money. It controls me. This drains energy and prevents momentum. It's not the small luxury that keeps you broke. It's the lack of awareness and the absence of an intentional system for your money that prevents buildup. It's the difference between driving a car with a map and a full tank versus just stepping on the gas and hoping you end up somewhere good. This distinction is crucial. It shifts the focus from deprivation, cutting lattes, to empowerment, building a system. When you have a system where income flows into buckets for savings, investments, bills, and then discretionary spending. That discretionary bucket is yours to use intentionally. Maybe you budget $50 a month for fun money. Spending $8 on a coffee from that 50 is a conscious choice, not a financial leak. Try this for a week. Instead of just buying something small out of habit or emotion, pause. Ask yourself, is this a conscious choice that fits my plan, even if the plan is just my fun money budget for the week? Or is this an automatic default driven by habit, stress, or marketing? This one habit, the pause and the question, can change everything. It starts building awareness, which is the first step to building that resilient financial system. Reflect honestly. Are your small daily expenses conscious choices or automatic defaults driven by habit or emotion? Just reflecting is the action here. No need to change anything yet. Just observe. It's like checking your posture. Just noticing how you stand is the first step to correcting it. So, we've busted the myth that small purchases are the root of all financial evil. We've seen that it's the system and the intentionality behind the spending that truly matters. Building that system, that conscious control, isn't about being perfect from day one. It's about small, consistent steps. It's about shifting your focus from what you can't buy to building the structure that allows you to consciously decide what you can buy, guilt-free, because everything else is handled. The potential long-term benefit of this mindset shift and focus on system building is profound. It's not just about having more money. It's about gaining control, reducing anxiety, and freeing up mental energy that was previously consumed by financial stress. Think of it like building muscle. One workout doesn't make you fit, but consistent effort following a plan does. Similarly, one budget doesn't make you wealthy, but a consistent system for managing your money builds financial strength over time. This deeper insight reveals that money discipline isn't punishment. It's self-care. It's choosing long-term peace and opportunity over short-term unconscious gratification. It's trading fleeting comfort for enduring confidence. It's recognizing that your financial habits are a reflection of your internal state, your beliefs about yourself, your worth, and your future. By changing the habit, you begin to change that internal narrative. It's about mastering yourself, not just mastering your money. And in that mastery, you find true flow. In the end, your bank account will catch up to your mindset, not the other way around. Welcome to today's Transformation Dive, here in the Earn Flow Zone. Let's be honest, we've all felt that rush. That bonus hits, the raise comes through, a new client signs a fat contract. You feel like you've leveled up, unlocked a new achievement in the game of life. The initial thought is pure relief, maybe even elation. You picture breathing room, maybe finally getting that thing you've wanted. But then, something insidious creeps in. It's like you stepped on a financial treadmill that just got faster, forcing you to run harder just to stay in place. This channel is about getting off that treadmill and learning to run towards your goals, not just away from stress. If you're into real, actionable money and mindset content, the kind that cuts through the noise and helps you actually build wealth and personal growth, hit like and subscribe. Seriously, it helps way more than you think, telling the algorithm this content is valuable and getting it out to more people who need it. Also, I love hearing from you. Drop a comment below and let me know where you're watching from, or share your biggest money habit win this past year. What's one small change you made that had a big impact? Let's celebrate those wins together. Today, we're tackling some uncomfortable truths about why simply earning more doesn't guarantee financial freedom, and how our own habits often sabotage our progress. It's time to break down some common myths and build some powerful new frameworks. Let's dive in and change the way you think about success. Earning more, staying broke. It sounds like a cruel joke, doesn't it? You work harder. You build skills, you put in the hours, and your income goes up. You achieve that salary jump, land that bigger deal, get that bonus check you've been dreaming of. And for a moment, everything feels lighter. You imagine paying off debt faster, maybe finally starting to save or invest. But all too often, especially for ambitious mid-earners, freelancers landing bigger clients, or builders scaling their side hustles, that feeling of relief is quickly replaced by a familiar tension. Why? Because of something called lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is the quiet killer of financial progress. It's subtle, often logical seeming in the moment, but deadly over time. You got that 20% raise? Great. Now, suddenly that slightly bigger apartment feels necessary. The older car seems less reliable. Eating out a few more times a week feels earned. It's like you've upgraded your financial operating system, and suddenly, all the apps cost more. The classic scenario. Your income goes up by 20%, but your spending, fueled by this new normal, shoots up by 25%. You are earning more than ever in your life, potentially tens of thousands more per year, yet you somehow feel just as, if not more, stressed about money. Why? Because your new, elevated lifestyle now demands that higher income, often with no extra margin left over, and sometimes even negative margin requiring debt. Here's the surprising and uncomfortable insight. Without a conscious, predefined plan, increased income often accelerates your negative financial momentum rather than building positive momentum. Think of it like trying to train for a marathon by just eating more calories instead of doing the actual running. The extra resources are there, but they aren't being directed towards the desired outcome. More money without a plan to direct it towards savings, investments, or debt reduction simply means you have more resources to fund your existing habits, which, if those habits involve spending everything you earn, just reinforces the cycle. You get better at earning, but you also get better at spending. This is where the critical decision comes in, and it needs to be made before the money lands. Before your next income increase, whether it's a scheduled raise at your job, a new project with a higher rate, or a bigger commission check, you must decide exactly where at least 50% of that increase will go. Not 50% of your total income, but 50% of the new money hitting your account. Will it go to paying off high-interest debt, funding your emergency fund, opening or boosting an investment account? This is your personal action plan, your pre-commitment to future financial gain. Ask yourself, what's stopping you from planning for your next raise today? Even if it's 6 months away, envision that extra money and decide its purpose now. This one habit changed everything for me, deciding the fate of future income increases before they arrive. It transforms a potential acceleration of lifestyle creep into a guaranteed acceleration of wealth building. It's not about deprivation. It's about conscious allocation. When that money hits, it already has a job, a mission. And that mission is to build your financial future, not just fund a slightly more expensive version of your present. So we've talked about the trap of earning more and staying broke, that frustrating cycle fueled by lifestyle creep. We've seen how increasing income without a plan can actually work against you. accelerating debt, or just maintaining the status quo of stress. The key takeaway is clear. Intentionality is paramount. Simply having more money isn't enough. You need a deliberate strategy for what that new money will do. That pre-commitment to directing at least 50% of any future income increase towards savings, investments, or debt reduction is a powerful lever for change. It's a decision you make today that pays dividends for years to come. The potential long-term benefit here is immense. Imagine if every income bump, every bonus, every win didn't just evaporate into slightly nicer daily living, but instead steadily built your financial fortress. That 50% or more allocated consistently compounds over time. That small percentage of the increase quickly adds up to significant boosts in your emergency fund. Aggressive attacks on debt principal or substantial contributions to your investment portfolio. This isn't just about numbers on a screen. It's about buying future freedom. It's about reducing stress, gaining options, and building a life where you call the shots, not your expenses. There's a deeper insight here about money and discipline. Money is often just a magnifying glass for our existing habits and mindset. If you have a habit of spending everything you earn, earning more just gives you more to spend. If you have a mindset that sees money as something to acquire and immediately consume, you'll always be on that earning-spending treadmill. True financial growth comes when you shift your mindset to see money as a tool for building, for creating future security and opportunity. Discipline isn't punishment. It's the conscious application of that tool towards your long-term vision. It's choosing future freedom over immediate gratification, consistently. Remember, the journey to financial peace and abundance isn't always about massive overnight changes. It's about consistent, smart decisions, compounded over time. Planning for future gains now is one of the smartest decisions you can make. It flips the script on lifestyle creep and turns increased earnings into rocket fuel for your financial goals. In the end, your bank account will catch up to your mindset, not the other way around. Section 7. Systems beat willpower. Every time. Welcome to today's Transformation Dive. Note, this line is part of the intro. I am starting the script after this line, diving into the Section 7 content. Okay, let's talk about something critical. Something that separates those who build consistent financial momentum from those stuck in a cycle of "I'll start next week." You see, many people approach their money goals like they're trying to push a car uphill indefinitely. They rely on pure, raw willpower. Every single day, it's a conscious decision not to spend that money, a battle to log in and transfer funds, a debate with yourself about whether this purchase is really necessary. And for a while, maybe you make progress. You white-knuckle your way through a few weeks. Feel good about those savings numbers. But let's be real. Pushing that car uphill, it's exhausting. You get tired, you get stressed. Life throws a curveball. And suddenly, your willpower muscle is fatigued, and the car rolls right back down. Relying solely on daily decisions to save, invest, or stick to a budget is a recipe for burnout and eventual backsliding. Your willpower is a finite resource, like battery life on your phone. Use it up on resisting impulse buys, deciding if you really need that subscription, or debating whether to transfer money right now, and you'll drain it fast. When you're tired after a long day or facing an unexpected bill, that little internal voice urging you to just deal with it tomorrow or you deserve this is incredibly powerful. It turns out, this isn't a moral failing. It's just how our brains work, seeking the path of least resistance, especially when under strain. Here's the surprising insight from behavioral finance, the study of why we actually do what we do with money. You don't need more willpower. You need a system. The key is to design your financial life so the right choice, saving, investing, paying down debt, becomes the easy choice, the default action. It's exponentially more effective than fighting yourself daily. Think of it less like pushing a car and more like setting up a self-propelling vehicle on a downhill slope. You do the work once to build it and point it, and then inertia takes over. A powerful, classic example of this is setting up automatic transfers. You get paid on Friday, on Saturday morning, or maybe even moments after the money hits. An automatic transfer system you set up moves a predetermined amount from your checking account directly into a separate savings account, an investment account, or even towards a debt payment. The magic? You remove the decision. The money is gone before you even have a chance to think about spending it on something else. It bypasses that willpower debate entirely. You literally pay yourself first, effortlessly. This isn't about being a robot. It's about using smart design to align your automatic actions with your long-term goals. It leverages the power of set it and forget it in your favor. This system approach isn't limited to savings. Automatic bill pay ensures you never miss a deadline, avoiding fees and stress. Automatic investment contributions mean you're consistently putting money to work, benefiting from compound growth without needing daily motivation. It's the financial equivalent of laying out your workout clothes the night before. You reduce the friction, making the desired action the easy one. Your action this week, right now even, automate one financial action. Pick something small if you need to, but make it automatic. Set up an automatic transfer of just $25 from checking to savings a day after payday. Schedule an automatic bill payment you usually handle manually. Set up an automatic small contribution to an investment account. Don't overthink the amount. The goal is to build the system, to install the engine that moves the car for you. This one habit, building automated systems, changed everything for me and countless others. It shifts the burden from your fatigued willpower to a reliable process. Ask yourself, what's one small financial action you can remove from your daily or weekly decision list by automating it? Section 8. You might think that hitting a six-figure income or even higher is the magic bullet for financial security. Welcome to the high-income, low-security paradox. It sounds crazy, right? People earning significant money, sometimes multiple times the average, yet they live paycheck to paycheck, just like someone earning far less. They're stressed about bills. They have little to no savings. And the thought of an unexpected expense, like a car repair or a medical bill, sends them into a panic. They have high incomes, but surprisingly low security. Why does this happen? It's one of the most frustrating realities for many successful professionals and business owners. The surprising truth, the core concept here, is that a high income doesn't automatically fix chaotic micro-decisions. It just gives you more fuel to make bigger, chaotic decisions. Think of it like upgrading from a small scooter to a super powerful sports car. If you had no idea how to drive the scooter and crashed it repeatedly, giving you a sports car just means you'll crash harder and faster. With a higher income, you can service more debt, bigger car loans, larger mortgages, credit card minimum payments that feel manageable but are actually crippling. You can afford a more expensive lifestyle, dining out constantly, luxury goods, exotic vacations, while still having zero buffer, zero investments, and zero peace of mind. People often underestimate how quickly lifestyle creep consumes extra income. It's like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain open. The faster you pour water in, income, the faster it drains out, spending, and you never build up a reserve. The really critical, perhaps slightly uncomfortable insight here is that your income level doesn't change your financial habits, it amplifies them. If you have good saving, investing, and budgeting habits, adding a high income to the mix means rapid wealth accumulation. You become financially free much, much faster. But if you have poor spending habits, debt mismanagement, and a live-for-today mindset, a high income simply means you accumulate debt and stress much faster, but at a higher number. You can rack up $50,000 in credit card debt just as easily as someone with less income might rack up $5,000. But the principle is the same. It's not the amount of money coming in, but the control you have over where it goes. This is the cause-effect clarity. High income plus poor habits equals faster, bigger financial problems. So, if you're a high earner reading this, feeling that sting of financial insecurity despite your success, it's time for a crucial self-assessment. You have the engine. Now you need to check the steering and brakes. Ask yourself, what is your biggest momentum drain? Is it a specific spending category where money just vanishes? Is it unmanaged, high-interest debt that eats away at your potential? Or is it simply a lack of automated saving and investing? You just spend everything because you can. Don't point vaguely at overspending. Pinpoint the specific leak. This one realization, identifying your primary financial bottleneck, is the first step to aligning your high income with real financial security. Pinpoint it as your action. Find that single biggest area where your hard-earned money is disappearing without building your future, and focus your energy there first. Money is a tool, not the goal. Welcome back to Earn Flow Zone. We're diving deep today into what really fuels sustainable financial growth. And honestly, it's not just about the numbers. Think about it. Building financial momentum isn't just about watching a number tick up in your bank account or investment portfolio. While the growth feels good, chasing only the accumulation of money is a surprisingly hollow goal. It's like driving a car with no destination. You're moving, but where are you actually going? You might end up feeling pretty lost no matter how fast the speedometer climbs. That kind of momentum, just for the sake of having more digits, doesn't sustain you through the tough decisions or the moments when progress feels slow. True, powerful financial momentum is what happens when your money isn't just sitting there, a static figure. It's when your financial power is actively pulling you towards something deeply meaningful in your life. Ask yourself, what is that something for you? Is it buying back chunks of your time so you can be present with family? Not just in the same room, but truly present. Is it funding that passion project you've dreamed about for years? The one that lights you up every time you think about it? Maybe it's having the financial security to finally leave a job that drains your energy day after day, freeing you up to pursue something that aligns with your values. Or perhaps it's the ability to contribute significantly to a cause you believe in, making a tangible difference in the world. Consider a relatable example. There's a huge difference between just saving just because, swirling away money without a clear purpose, which, let's be honest, can feel a bit pointless sometimes, like doing reps at the gym with no idea why you're working out. Now compare that to saving specifically for a down payment on a home that represents stability for your family, or saving and investing with the goal of funding a future sabbatical where you can travel or learn a new skill. In the first scenario, you're just stacking cash. In the second, your financial actions are directly tied to a vivid future you're actively building. It makes every saved dollar feel like a brick in that foundation, not just a lonely number. Here's the surprising insight, the one that changed everything for me. Connecting your everyday financial actions, your micro decisions about spending, saving, and investing, to your deeper values and life goals fundamentally shifts the process. When you know why you're doing what you're doing, it stops feeling like deprivation or sacrifice. Ugh, I can't buy that frivolous thing again? Instead, it transforms into purposeful progress. I'm choosing to delay this small gratification because it's moving me closer to my important goal. It's the difference between being on a strict, joyless diet and fueling your body like an athlete training for a competition. One feels restrictive. The other feels empowering because there's a clear, compelling why behind it. So here is your action prompt, something critical to ponder. Write down, right now or as soon as you finish watching, why building financial momentum truly matters to you, beyond just having more money for the sake of it. What life does having more financial flow and security enable for you? What experiences, what impact, what freedom does it unlock? Getting clear on this will be the most powerful fuel for your journey. All right, you've been laying the groundwork, building the foundation, perhaps clearing some debt. But how do you turn that initial push into something unstoppable? How do you build real, lasting financial momentum? It's not about being perfect from day one. Honestly, who even knows what perfect looks like in money? It's about building a sustainable engine. Think of it like training for a marathon, not trying to sprint a mile in record time. This engine has a few key parts, and they work together continuously. First, there's awareness. This is your engine's fuel gauge and dashboard. You need to know where you are. This usually starts with tracking your spending. You might recoil at the thought, "Ugh, tracking sounds boring." But trust me, ignoring where your money goes is like driving blind. You need to see the flow, understand your habits, good and bad. Then comes planning. This is the engine's blueprint. Once you know where you are, you decide where you want your money to go. This is budgeting, allocating, setting goals. It's directing the fuel, not just watching it burn. Next is action. This is the engine purning over. This is where you automate your savings, your investments, maybe even bill payments. You set up the systems based on your plan. This is crucial because it takes the daily willpower struggle out of the equation. It's the engine running on autopilot, keeping you moving forward even when you're busy or tired. But here's where most people's financial engines sputter or break down. They forget the final critical part. Review. This is the engine checkup, the tune-up, the oil change. You need to regularly look under the hood. A perfect plan is useless if it's collecting dust. Life happens. Your income changes. Expenses pop up. Goals evolve. If you don't review, your plan becomes outdated and irrelevant faster than a viral TikTok dance. A powerful, surprisingly simple way to build this review muscle is by scheduling a monthly money date with yourself. Yes, a date with your finances. Maybe light a candle? Pour a fancy drink. Make it an appointment you look forward to, or at least respect. Sit down for 30 to 60 minutes. Open up your tracking app, your budget spreadsheet, your bank statements. Look at where your money actually went last month. Did it follow the plan? See if your automated systems worked as intended. Did that transfer hit your savings? Did your investment contribution go through? Then, adjust your plan for the coming month based on what you learned. Did you way overspend on takeout? Okay, maybe adjust the budget there. Did you get a small, unexpected bonus? Decide how to allocate it. Celebrate small wins. Maybe you hit a savings milestone or stuck to your grocery budget. Give yourself a pat on the back. The surprising insight here? It's not about being a financial guru who never makes a mistake. Consistent, even imperfect review and adjustment is far more effective than having the theoretically perfect plan that you set once and never look at again. It's iteration, not instant success. It's about keeping the engine running smoothly, making small tweaks along the way. It's messy, it's real, and it works. Your action step, right now, schedule a 30-minute money check-in with yourself sometime in the next 7 days. Put it in your calendar like any other important appointment, like a doctor's visit or coffee with a friend. This one habit can literally change everything about how you feel about and interact with your money. You look at the mountain you need to climb. Maybe it's crushing debt. Maybe it's just the vast distance between your current income and your future goals. And you feel small, insignificant even, like you're just one tiny snowflake in a financial desert. It's easy to feel discouraged at the start, especially if you're facing significant debt or have very little income. Saving $10 or $20 feels less like a step forward and more like, well, still being in the exact same place, just slightly lighter in the pocket. But this is precisely where the momentum principle is most powerful. The secret sauce that turns that solitary snowflake into an unstoppable avalanche. That first $10 saved isn't just $10 in your account. It's the start of the snowball. Think of it like clicking start on a video game. The first few levels might feel slow. The points are small, but you're building skills, learning the mechanics, and the momentum is beginning. That $10, or even $5, is the micro decision that proves you can direct money intentionally, that you have agency over your finances, no matter how small. It's the first grain of sand that begins the dune, the first ingredient stirred into the pot. Let's go back to the person we talked about earlier, the one who started saving just $50 a month. 6 months later, that's $300, plus maybe a tiny bit of interest. Honestly, probably not enough to buy you a fancy coffee. Maybe just a cheap one if you hunt for deals. By any objective measure, $300 isn't life-changing money. Not yet, anyway. But seeing that balance grow, seeing the proof of their consistent action, seeing that number inch up month after month, that changes their mindset entirely. It shifts from, I can't save, to, okay, I saved $50. Then, $100. And suddenly, $300? Wow. People often underestimate the psychological power of seeing tangible results, however small. It's like hitting a small fitness goal. Running for 5 minutes feels insignificant until you do it consistently for a month and realize you can now jog for 15. And here's the surprising insight, the thing that challenges common thinking. The initial habit of directing money intentionally is far more valuable than the initial amount. Seriously, we obsess over the destination, the big number, the debt-free life, the investment portfolio. But the journey, the small, repeatable actions, is where the real transformation happens. Building the muscle of conscious financial decision-making, Training yourself to prioritize saving or investing even tiny amounts builds belief. And belief, that quiet confidence that you can do this, fuels bigger actions later. It's the difference between wishing for an avalanche and gently pushing that first snowflake down the hill. That tiny push today is what makes the difference weeks, months, and years from now. It sets the trajectory. This one habit changed everything for me. Consciously deciding to move any amount of money into savings or investments the moment I got paid, even if it felt ridiculously small. It wasn't about the number, it was about the act. Try this for a week. Make one tiny, intentional financial decision every day. Your action today? Choose one micro decision to change, or one tiny financial action to take right now. Don't overthink it. Transfer $5 to savings. Track your lunch money today. Skip that single impulse purchase you were considering. Just one small thing. Push that first snowflake. Start the snowball. You've seen it now. You understand that feeling of being utterly stuck, churning away just to stay in place. You've perhaps even believed the subtle lie that those tiny daily financial actions don't really stack up, that only a big raise or a windfall can truly change things. And you've certainly felt that frustrating trap, earning more money, yet somehow gaining absolutely no ground on your goals, still feeling anxious when bills arrive. We've peeled back the layers and explored the single potent principle that can shatter that cycle and change everything. Building unstoppable financial momentum not through massive, infrequent events, but by mastering your micro decisions. It's not about inheriting a fortune or winning the lottery. It's about the consistent, intentional direction of the money you currently have and earn, regardless of the amount. Think of it like steering a ship. It's not the size of the engine that always matters most, but the consistent, subtle corrections of the rudder that ultimately determine your destination. It's about choosing awareness over avoidance, implementing simple systems over relying on fleeting willpower, and taking purposeful action over just reacting to whatever your bank account balance says this morning. What happens, honestly, if you hear this lesson, nod your head, and then do nothing different? You stay firmly planted on that financial hamster wheel. You keep working harder, maybe even taking on extra gigs, just to feel like you're barely keeping up with inflation and expenses. The stress about money remains a constant hum in the background, or perhaps it even grows into a roar. Opportunities, like investing in a skill, starting a side hustle, or even just taking a much-needed break, pass you by because you lack the financial foundation, the safety net, or the liquid cash to seize them. You'll always feel like you're chasing money, constantly behind, rather than standing in a position of strength, directing its energy towards building the life you actually crave. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You can pour more water in, earn more, but you'll never gain ground until you fix the leak, master the micro decisions. But if you embrace this, if you truly start paying attention to where your money flows in the small decisions, if you take just a few moments to build simple systems and track your progress, however imperfectly at first, the shift is profound. You gain control over your money, which translates directly into gaining control over your life. You build confidence with every small win, every dollar intentionally saved or wisely spent. The snowflake of a few intentional dollars becomes a small snowball, then something far bigger, gathering mass and speed as it rolls downhill. the constant financial stress begins to lift, replaced by a quiet sense of competence. You start seeing possibilities you simply couldn't perceive before because your energy wasn't consumed by financial worry. You stop chasing and start building actual, tangible financial momentum. And here's the most liberating part. It begins not tomorrow, not next week, not when you get that imaginary raise, but with the very next financial decision you make, no matter how small. The journey off the hamster wheel and onto the path of momentum doesn't require a giant leap, just a single intentional step. Your clear, doable step today, right now, after watching this, is incredibly simple, almost laughably so. Open a separate free online savings account if you don't have one yet. You can do this in 5 minutes or less with many reputable banks. Name it something that genuinely inspires you, that represents the feeling of momentum you want to build. Call it Freedom Fund, Momentum Account, Future Self, whatever resonates. That's it. Just open that door. Create that dedicated space for intentional saving, even if you can only put $5 in it this week. Take that single step, open that account, and start building your momentum, one micro decision at a time. In the end, your bank account will catch up to your mindset, not the other way around.